there's a tremendous opportunity for those who are creating content. What do we mean by that? People that are using video, they're using audio, maybe with a podcast, they're using text with a blog or posts they're putting somewhere, or pictures, or other ways to do it. The creator economy is what it's called, and it's really incredibly good. And we have been doing that. We being myself, Terry Brock, and Gina Carr, who joins us right now as well. Gina, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great and so excited to share this information with our fans.
Yeah, this creator economy is really big. Tell us a little bit about it from your point of view. What is the creator economy? I remember when I heard it first, it was kind of confusing. And now that I understand it, it's a lot better. What is it and how do you define it, Gina?
Well, I define it as people who are creating, typically they're blogging or they're creating videos or they're creating podcasts or all of the above. And they're getting their expertise out into the world. And that's how they are making a living. So creator economy is the economy part. And we refer to them as creator entrepreneurs in our world, in our Stark Raving Entrepreneurs world, in our programs.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And there was something that was interesting. You and I both read an article that was written by Eric Sheridan, who is over at Goldman Sachs. Really profound about that. Let's share that article. And Gina, you'll see here that it says the creator economy could approach $500 billion by 2027. This is amazing. And by the way, look at that picture they put in there. I love that picture. I'll make it a little bit longer or larger here. See the person staring into the light that's the circle, and she's got her smartphone. Gee, that looks a lot like what you do, Gina.
kind of. And it does illustrate how simple it is that with just a smartphone, you can start creating some powerful videos to get your expertise out into the world and make a living doing that. And it's just exciting times. And it works. A big part of what works also, and it gets me excited, is it for all ages. I mean, my nephew is 15 and he creates some videos. And he's been doing it on and off since he was about 8, I believe. And then we have people in our program who are, I know, well into their 70s. We might even have a couple of 80-year-old pluses in there. That how hard is it to turn on your phone and create a video sharing your passion, your expertise, things that you know will help people in the world?
Yeah, exactly. And I love what they say as they go on. Let's go back to the article in just a moment. Okay, Gina, we're back here in the article. It says the so-called creator economy has mushroomed and is expected to grow even more in the coming years, according to Goldman Sachs research. I like this. And we can say the person who wrote this here is Eric Sheridan. He's a senior equity research analyst covering the U.S. internet sector, and he writes in the team report. They talk about this. It's an ecosystem that's really growing, expecting to double in size over the next 5 years to $480 billion by 2027 from $250 billion today. This is huge. And what it consists of is people that are being able to take their message and they're able to send it out to the world in the form of content. They can do this through YouTube. They might do it through podcasting, or they can do it in many other ways. We have, of course, our Stark Raving Entrepreneurs community where people are doing that right now, and we see some huge potential with it.
Well, that's right, Terry. You and I come from traditional media backgrounds. You have a significant amount of background in radio, and I do in print newspapers and magazines. And so what we're seeing is this evolution of money that was going into traditional media, going into digital. And there's still so much that's evolving there. And increasingly, brands, all kinds of businesses are trying to figure out how to take advantage and plug into this digital economy and the creator economy.
Yeah. And one of the things that's better today than ever before is it's easier. With a smartphone, if you've got a smartphone, particularly a more recent smartphone, you've got a better camera in there than they had in professional grade equipment just a few years ago. With your phone, you can do it. And that's the key. Get started now. Don't wait and think, okay, I got to get better equipment. I got to buy this much more expensive stuff and that. You can start doing it right now. Many people in our Stark Raving Entrepreneurs community are already doing this. They're using it and getting the message out, creating information. But there's something real important on that. And matter of fact, Gene, I want to make sure we get your content, your ideas on this. It's not just a matter of producing content. We do not lack for content because it's easier than ever, but there's also a lot of competition. And there's a lot of competition, and some of it's really, really good. And that means, hey, it seems like everybody is getting into it. And if you don't do it right, it's not going to work. So what you got to do is you got to find out from your niche, where are they having a problem? What questions do they have? And you want to make sure that you give some solid, usable answers that they can apply to those specific problems. That is going to be the key. What are your thoughts on that, Gina?
Well, it's wonderful that there's so many tools that we can use, different strategies, different ways to plug into what these problems might be. And I think it's a big part of looking at yourself, your expertise. I talk about the Venn diagram of looking at your expertise, how you can monetize that, who's willing to pay you for that, as well as what are you passionate about and what do people need to know. And so merging all those together will help you as a creator, entrepreneur, figure out what you should be talking about, what types of content you should be creating. And even though there is a tremendous amount of competition out there, you have your perspective on it. You have your spin, your way of looking at the world, your history, your background, things that other people don't have. And the right people are going to come to you and be attracted to you if you get your message out into the world.
Exactly. Gina, you know that I like to talk about that. And I kind of created my own word. What you want to do on that is you want to put in your own voice, your own feeling, your experiences. You want to do what I like to call you-ize it. YOU-IZE. You-ize this. In other words, put in your feeling, because AI, ChatGPT, doesn't know about that great seminar you went to last June when you listened to this speaker, and she was fabulous. She said just what needed to be done. She knew her stuff. She had done her research. And ChatGPT doesn't know about that you have this feeling on it. You can put that into your YouTube channel. You can put that into your podcast. And it's easier than ever to do it today. And frankly, I think that's a good thing to do. Gina, you've been doing that, matter of fact, with the people that you're working with, showing them how they can solve it and work with that. And what kind of examples have you seen from our Stark Raving Entrepreneurs community of people that are using this and putting in their own flavor into it?
Well, one of our clients, Gary O'Sullivan, is an expert in the funeral and cemetery business. And he's a rock star in that industry. He's very well known. And for decades, he has created content in English. But now, because of the global reach of being in this creator economy and the AI tools that are available, such as one that he has used extensively recently is called Hey Jen, to create his content in English, but to have his AI avatar, his Spanish speaking avatar, to recreate that in Spanish. And so we've helped him put together a course that and market a course to people who speak Spanish. And so it's opened it up to a totally different audience. He also has a lot of followers and fans of his work in Brazil. So we're going to be helping him create a Portuguese version of this. So there's just so many opportunities. I mean, there's an entire world out there, and there are a lot of people that have not been exposed to this sort of content creation in all these different languages. So there's a lot of opportunity out there to really, without speaking a certain language, to appeal to entirely different audience.
Yeah, exactly. And that means also be able to make money with it. It was interesting in that article from Goldman Sachs, they talked about where people are getting their money. When I saw this, it was a little bit of a surprise for me. But I know those of you watching this, you're watching this right now, you're probably entrepreneur or entrepreneurial minded. And you want to think, okay, this is all nice and good, but what about paying the bills? We got bills here, we got to pay for it. How do we monetize this? Take a look at this. Okay, here is the graph they put together. Brand direct deals are the largest source of income for creators. Look at this, over 60% there. They asked the question, what's the highest earning revenue source for you as a creator? And look, notice that brand deals were ahead of, I'm looking at here on the screen there, ad share, also starting your own brand, affiliate links, courses. Gina, you and I are doing that. We know we can make money that way. And you've got not applicable, no income there, tips or other. And all of that is available out there, but there's a lot of ways. And I think the brand deals are really interesting. That was a little bit surprising to me. Gina, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it goes back to thinking about traditional media businesses want to get their messages out. So in the old days, they would run ads on TV, they would run ads in newspapers and on radio and things like that. And so now those brands are saying, well, we can reach our targeted community by going to this influencer who is already creating content, who's already right in front of our perfect audience, and we can negotiate with them to get them to share our message with their audience. I listen to a number of podcasts and watch a lot of YouTube videos that they're very dialed in on their target audience, and some of them are not, and those don't last very long, but a lot of them really are, and those sponsors stay with the influencer for years. So once you've developed that relationship and you hone in and you know that this is perfect for your audience, you're passionate about it, you can reliably and with integrity market it to your audience, and it can be a win-win.
Yeah, exactly. And I think having those brand deals is good. It's something that Gina, you and I have both done. And for instance, I remember many years ago, I found ways that people saw what I was doing on video and they liked it. One of the people that saw that happened to be one of the agencies working with Skype. And Skype saw that and they said, wow, Terry, you're doing something here that we don't see anybody else doing. We've been passing your videos around the world and wanted to know if you might be able to come over and help us out. And I said, well, for the right amount of money, we can work something out here. And I got to tell you, I work with a wonderful people there at Skype. They were just incredible, very professional and up to date on what we did. We wrote articles about how people can use Skype. At that time, it was mainly for grandma and grandpa talking to the grandkids, which was really good, but you could do it even more in business. So we started showing the ways they could use tools like Skype to reach out to people. It was a lot of fun, and I remember doing that. But my point is, there's a lot of ways that you can monetize. Monetize through a brand is one. You might also find others. For instance, as a professional speaker, I know people have seen my videos and then said, gee, we want you to come and speak to our group over here, and we will pay you for that. This is a way that many speakers are able to do well. We're not interested necessarily in getting as many views. It's nice to get views, but we might only get 20, 30 views. That's okay, because those people who are watching it are people who can pay for our services. You want to think about the same thing for what you're doing. Gina, we've seen this happen in many different ways. I know you've been involved in this, also speaking professionally, as well as working with clients. Tell us a little bit about how you've been able to monetize the work that you have done in creating content.
Well, through our videos, multiple videos that we are creating, some are internally focused just for our community, and some are externally focused, such as this one right here. We are getting our expertise out into the world, and we get a number of requests for speaking, coaching, advising, consulting, those sorts of things, and for helping people solve their problems. Specifically today, we're very much focused on helping people grow their business using AI. So how to harness those tools. And sometimes they want to learn how so they can do it themselves. And sometimes they want us to either do it with or for them. And so we have programs at different levels to help people with that.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a part of a trend that we're seeing around the world, that things are getting better and better because the technology is easy. We've got the internet, and frankly, you can do it from anywhere. We've known that for a long time, that if you have good internet connection, you can do the work you need to do as a content creator from anywhere. So start thinking about the expertise you have, people that have a need and how you can help them, and also the expertise that you can gain, something that might be tangential, just to the side of what you already know, not that difficult, not that far away. You could learn that as well through an online course or a community college course or some other way, hiring some mentors who can show you how to do it. Then you can develop expertise in that area as well. There are a lot of ways that you can monetize this, and it's pretty incredible. But one of the things, Gina, I want to talk about right now are the tools that are out there that we can use. We're using a lot of AI for this. Artificial intelligence tools like, of course, ChatGPT, Perplexity, and using Claude 3 right now as well. Got some really nice, I particularly like Claude 3 with a sonnet flavor on it. Really nice. Using Perplexity, we can access all of that. And that gives us the ability to get the information and the research that we need, but also to help create content that we use as a first draft. Actually, one of the ways I'm using it right now, and I think, Gina, I was mentioning this to you, is I like to sit down and do the posts that I do on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I first write it myself. Actually, I don't write it, I talk it in there. I clip the microphone on me, talk it into Google Docs using their voice typing, which I love. It's a fabulous little tool. And I get my rough draft in there, putting in my thoughts. Then I take that, feed it over into Perplexity, focusing on the writing. They give you the ability to get the best writing tools, focus on that, and ask it to clean it up, check for spelling, check for grammar, make sure it looks nice and tidied up, maybe put a little bit extra here on this or that. Then when it comes back with it, I run it through a third editing process where I go back looking at it going, I like that. Ooh, that sounds good. Ooh, and another idea I just had, da 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 da, put that in there. So I'm getting a much better piece of content that way. And that's some of the tools that I'm using. Gina, what tools are you using right now? Or you are hearing from our clients that we're working with that are particularly nice today?
Well, the HeyGen tool, as I mentioned, and I
Oh,
mentioned
yeah.
earlier that Gary Sullivan is using it for creating those videos in another language, but one of our clients, Susan Frew, is using it for creating content and creating additional videos in English. But it's much easier for her to create the script
Yeah.
and feed it into HeyGen to use her avatar for internal videos for her team. I don't know if she's using it for external marketing, but I know I've heard her talking about using it for hiring, training, recruiting her folks, onboarding her people, and creating all sorts of improved services for her team of home professionals.
Yeah, absolutely. She's got a multi-million-dollar business in doing that. And I love the way she comes across, don't you?
Yes, she's wicked smart.
Yeah, it's good to see what's out there. And so, for those of you watching this, think about it. You don't have to be a super expert to do this. If you're a person who comes across well, you can talk with authenticity. That's the key. Don't come across trying to say every word correctly and it must be sound like this or a robotic. No, you don't want that. You want to be authentic. Be authentic. Now, watch your speech, watch how you're speaking. If you're doing a lot of in those, well, there's tools that can help on that, like Udly, YOODLI.ai, Udly, wonderful little tools. We are paying customers of that, but also with working with them on their board of advisors to make sure we help them on that. But it's great for that. There's so many AI tools out there. Pretty incredible time to be alive right now.
It really is. And all these things are so exciting. I'm constantly using AI tools throughout the day for personal as well as for business use. And it just makes my life so much better. I have much more confidence in the decisions that I'm making. A lot of times I'm making a recommendation and then I go to AI to clarify it and to check it just to make sure that I'm right. And it's just so much better than going to a traditional Google search because it consolidates. It does the Google search, but it takes from those articles. And now sometimes it's not right. Sometimes it gives some wrong information, but I can go back and say, "Hey, I think that's not quite right on that. Would you check again?" And a lot of times it'll come back and say, "Oh, you're right. Excuse me."
Yep. Matter of fact, I think I had a chance to share it during my tantalizing tech tip on a recent meeting for Stark Raving Entrepreneurs. Got a chance to show what Perplexity did when it got some things wrong as I was doing a research, and then it corrected it and showed me what to do. And then we had to stay with it, but eventually it gave me a golden, wonderful output after going through a few iterations. I even put that into a video that you can catch over on our YouTube channel on there. So, Gina, as we wrap it up, I want to give people a way that they can get the solution to really get into content creation even more. Not only knowing the right tools and not only knowing how to do this kind of thing, but also the experience that others are getting. It's two things. One, it's the knowledge that you'll gain, but also the community. We often say that people come to Stark Raving Entrepreneurs for the content. They get all this great information, but they stick around for the community. Tell us what you've seen about that, Gina, and Stark Raving Entrepreneurs.
Well, we've just created a wonderful community. People come, they feel at home. We work to make sure that everyone in the meeting has an opportunity to engage and provide their input either through the chat or through video, their own spoken word. They turn on their video and they do some talking, and or they get to talk in the breakout session. So there's a lot of opportunities for our people to create interact with one another, which creates that community. And we're constantly working on ways ways to do that. But
Yeah, I think that's moving along. And we're showing people how they can use it. Matter of fact, Gina, we're going to share, I want to share something with you and with our audience that we went through last night, where we had something real world, and it showed the ability of using social media, using video to help out. And Gina, do you think we should share this with all the folks watching?
I guess we should.
Okay, okay. Well, it's got interesting. Here at our place, our condo here in Orlando, we have what happens to people all the time. We had things that go kaplooey. I think that's the technical term for it. They get broken. And one of the things happened to be a toilet seat. And so the toilet seat just wasn't working, it just fell off, And I'm thinking, oh, how did that happen? I don't know, but it just did. And so we had to order a new toilet seat, but we're not plumbers. When you look at Gina and me, we know a lot of things. We've done a lot, but we're not plumbers. We've had plumbers come over before. They do a great job. They're professional to a person that we've had over. They're really good. They do it right. But I thought, maybe we could just do this on our own. So we saw that, and I found the right toilet seat. You helped me on that, Gina. They're on Amazon. Amazon delivered the next day, and we had this thing here, but we needed to figure out how to do it. And I was thinking, well, I don't know. I'm going to go get my hammer. That's the one tool I know. I grab a hammer and I'm ready to go. Well, you need more than just a hammer, Terry. So it said something about maybe getting a screwdriver and the right kind of it. So we went and did that. And Gina, you came up with a brilliant idea that really helped us. Share with us what happened from there.
Well, I tried to read the instructions on the box, and there's some diagrams that were not very helpful.
Yep.
And there were no other instructions inside the box. So I said, well, I bet YouTube can help us. And so I did a quick Google search on how to install a toilet seat. And from there, I met my new favorite home improvement content entrepreneur. His name is Lou Manfredini. I had no idea he existed until yesterday. He's from Chicago. He has quite a successful channel. Apparently, he's gone through the historical media version of, he used to have a TV show, and maybe he still does, out of Chicago, but now he has a successful YouTube channel. And he had a quick, less than 5-minute video where he explained to us how to install the toilet seat. I played it. You did one step, then I played it, then you did another step, and it was just super easy to follow his instructions and to learn from him. So he now has a new fan, a new subscriber. And okay, if I just do a little screen share here to introduce you to Lou.
Go for it.
Because this will give you an idea. Some of you may say, well, I don't coach and I don't do these other things. Well, this is a way. This fellow was a construction person, maybe still is. And he was a construction apprentice. I guess I was a construction apprentice. My dad used to build homes and I would help him. And so, but I would never have thought to do this. But his channel is called House Smarts TV. And there he is doing the toilet seat. Again, less than 5 minutes. And just here's a screenshot. Oh, no, that's not what I meant to show. I just wanted to show his channel right now. So he has a new subscriber, and next time I need something for how to fix something in our home, in our condo, I will likely go to him. And now I haven't quite figured out how he monetizes. I did look at his website and looked at his YouTube channel. I expected to see something, a brand or two, or a course or a program or something. I did not, but I haven't investigated fully. I'm sure he's monetizing somehow because he's creating a lot of videos.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if Lou watches this, Lou, thank you very much. You helped us a bunch, and we certainly appreciate it. And by the way, it's working fine right now. So we thank you, and our little tushes, thank you as well. It's working really well. If I don't get too graphic here on that, I don't know. Can you do that on YouTube? I don't know. But anyway, there's a lot available there. And so we want you to get involved in community. We've got our community, Stark Raving Entrepreneurs, and we'd love to have you check that out. Gina, I know you have a special treat for them. We got a gift here for everyone, AI tools for business that you can start using. And we've got a place where you can go and find out about the tools. This is free, no charge to it. You'll be able to get that. And if you want to find out more about what we have, Gina, how would they get access to that? And Gina, do you have a slide that you can share with us on that?
AItoolsforbiz.com. And you can click the QR code or just go directly to the URL, type that in, and you'll learn about several different tools that we use regularly and love a lot.
Yes, indeed. Well, that's what it is. And so for right now, as we wrap this up, we appreciate you coming by to join us. Realize that there's a lot of opportunity in the content creator community. As a content creator, you're creating video, you're creating the audio, the pictures, you're doing text, writing, all of this stuff using your brain to help people. We've heard long ago, a long time, people follow you with a know, like, and trust. They get that channel, that way of getting through to you, the funnel where they first of all hear about you, they like you, and then they trust you. That happens now through content. So think of ways you can do it, and we will be here to help you out on that as well. I'm Terry Brock, and Gina Carr here joining me. Thank you very much for being with us today.